My journey started, as with many others, with the law of attraction, when a friend of mine told me about manifesting. I got intrigued by the idea of being able to just get things that I want, and thus I started researching what I could on YouTube regarding law of attraction. Vibrations, alignment, the universe, all that shit. Watched some gurus on YouTube, watched some TED Talks, read briefly The Secret. I remembered my mom telling me as a 14-year-old girl about The Secret and the gist of if you really want something, it will happen, and I believed her, although back then I didn't manage to wish myself into meeting Cole Sprouse, unlucky. But something just didn't quite sit right with me. I went through the trends of the 5x55, scripting, crystals, all that. Funny enough, back then I was in a relationship that I honestly was quite bored of. Things took a turn when my partner at the time broke up with me. I've been toying and imagining and thinking about the idea of not being in a relationship for 2 weeks straight prior to the breakup, imagining myself going to places single, and what do you know? What a perfect manifestation. In retrospect, I probably wasn't as hurt by the breakup due to feelings. I mean, it still sucked and I was kinda hurt and sad, but it wasn't as much, oh, I lost a person I liked a lot, as much as it was just an ego bruise of being broken up with, and breakups are never fun or easy, and we had a lot of mutual friend groups, etc. But that breakup was the thing that pushed me to start pursuing manifesting seriously. I've always been someone who joked about being a god, fake it till you make it confidence, and I have always hated the feeling of not being in control. The two things that gave me the kick from law of attraction were the inconsistent attitude of not getting exactly what I want, it just didn't make sense, the whole this or something better. Wow. Sometimes universe says no. If I can't get exactly what I want, why the fuck would I bother manifesting? I'd just let the universe keep giving me whatever as I was with my life before knowing about manifesting. The second thing was the whole alignment and vibrations. I was sad as shit after the breakup, I isolated myself, I cried, and I just couldn't feel happy or align myself with the vibration of happy and love for the fucking life of me, and I tried meditating and watching more videos and whatever the fuck, but I just couldn't get the vibration of love until I found Roxy Talks. Her attitude back then, at least, was more law of assumption, and although she still had some universe and shit terms thrown in, the general idea was Neville-based, and that's how I found out about Neville Goddard. I started reading his material, listening to lectures, and understanding the ideas he preached, even though I still don't fuck with the language, I'm sorry. I'm also not a religious person, but his ideas of correlating the Bible with manifesting were still fascinating on their own. I did more experiments, research, both on the sub and original material, YouTube. I think the biggest game changer for me personally was finding Sammy, and I know some people love and some people hate her. I started trying and learning things as well and trying to simplify this shit as much as possible and really see how far I can push the boundaries and what more limitation can I remove. The overall conclusions are: there is no such thing as divine timing or appointed hour, and things don't always manifest 3 days if done correctly. There's no seed that needs to be planted and grow, at least not in the elaborate long way Neville described it. Things can take as long or as fast, depending on you. Imagining, or rather, thinking as if things are true is the way, and when I say imagine I mean either audio affirming, or visualizing, both forms of thinking, and as long as you keep yourself doing that you'll manifest. Emotions and feelings don't manifest, your thoughts do. And before people start parroting a book title without reading, feelings is the secret. If you read, you would know that even Neville said he doesn't mean feeling as in emotions, but feeling is knowing. Knowing your desire is already true, which can be simplified and circled back to thinking as if it's true. It's really the same thing at the end of the day. Circumstances truly don't matter, I said it in my guides, but you will see it in full example. Truly, anything that people said doesn't matter, your situation doesn't matter, there is always movement even if you don't see it, you can change anything and anyone. Yes, anyone, any person, you can change their whole ass personality, behavior, thoughts, anything. I did it, bitches. You don't always have to change assumptions and go against them just because, but you can use your existing assumption in your favor by just following them. So the juicy parts, the list of success stories. Text message, my first proper conscious manifestation that made me shake and be like holy fuck. This was when I was a beginner and was just starting out with Neville. I'm a very creative person and can easily use my senses, imagining voices, sensations, taste, etc. even though I swapped to affirmations because I found them way more useful and easy, especially with ADHD or at times when I felt like absolute dog shit. I wanted to do this experiment to kinda start building my belief and to really test if this was real or a load of bull. I had a friend with whom at the point of manifesting I have spoken in a bit less or more a month. It wasn't completely unusual of him to message me, but we haven't spoken in few weeks, so I felt it would be enough to not have resistance or care too much, and still be random enough to be an obvious manifestation and not a coincidence. I sat in the evening in front of my PC, closed my eyes, and imagined him messaging me on IG or Discord, but more Discord I'm pretty sure. I imagined seeing a message from him, but didn't imagine a specific text, for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then got distracted and forgot about it. I didn't let go or detach or any stupid thing like that, I just forgot. Shortly after I went to sleep, no, I didn't do any sats, I didn't think about it at all because again, ADHD, forgot. The next morning I woke up and went to make coffee, and felt a notification on my phone. I was actually convinced it was my bestie messaging me, so I didn't think too much, and when I pulled out my phone, I kid you not, my heart dropped to my ass. Like that. I freaked the fuck out because it was a message from my friend that I imagined the evening prior and forgotten about. The most amazing part was the bridge or the reason for the message. See, when we talked a bit more often when we met, he told me that he had pink hair at some point, and I asked to see pics. He tried to look for those everywhere, on his PC, on his phone, in his Google album, on his old phone on 2 separate occasions. But could never find it. But on the day of my manifestation, he messaged me to tell me he found the pink hair pics by complete chance and wanted to show me. I'm pretty sure I yelped out loud. $100 sense of humor. This was shortly after. Went out with my family to relatives and I have some drinks, so I was quite tipsy. We went out to the beach to have a stroll, and my dad told me this TV host from a show hid a $100 bill in a bush where we were, and my tipsy ass went in to look for it. He said I probably won't find it because the episode when that happened aired like 3 years ago. My ass went, well, watch me, Imma find a $100 bill. We kept strolling, and the entire time I kept affirming in my head, I found $100, I found $100, I found $100. Just like that, on repeat, and that was way years before the whole robotic affirming debate happened. We were walking, and I told my family I will find that $100 and kept affirming in my head that I found them. Not longer than 15 minutes later we were passing some bushes and I just looked to the side and something small caught my eye. I ran to it, picked it up, and started laughing like a fucking maniac. I showed it to my parents and they were shook. You are actually God's favorite or something. I think they are a little scared of me until this day. I kept it in my phone case for months as a reminder. The funniest part, all games and such in here, like Monopoly, are converted to be local, with local money, and I am nowhere near the U.S., or any country that uses dollars, so finding a toy $100 bill, and not a $1, not $20, would be less likely than actual $100. I wasn't even disappointed, it was hilarious and manifested right in front of my fam. SP in 3 days against all circumstances. This happened before I knew about the law, but still remember the mindset that fit perfectly into the principles of manifesting. I was in this friend group with 3 guys that were best friends. To keep the story short, one used to be in my year in high school, the others were his friends I didn't know before. He met me at work and found out I play League, and invited me to play with him and his 2 other friends. Fast forward a little bit, and he ended up asking me out, but I rejected him. I got close with the other one, and he too ended up asking me out only to be rejected as well. When I told him I don't like him, he was angry, and ended up showing me a conversation between him and the first friend about how the first guy thought I had something for the third guy, which we all bullied as a joke. He showed me how the first guy said, "I think she likes A, but he will never like her because she's not his type at all." He saw that I got a bit upset and said, "Why would you get upset over that? Unless you actually like him and care." I didn't know if I really did, but he ended up pushing me to tell the third guy how I felt. I think it was peer pressure more than anything, but I ended up saying fuck it, might as well just get it over with. I sat with the third guy and told him, "Hey, I think I kinda like you," and asked how he feels about me. His exact words were, "I don't like you as anything, I don't even care about you as a friend, I only tolerate you for the sake of guy 1 and 2. Big oof. That was a Friday. I felt a bit shitty. I mean, my ego got bruised, but my ass was too stubborn, mentally, and my self-concept was high, so I remember going back up home thinking in complete unjustified delusion, "You fucking like me." And I didn't even try thinking against it, I just decided that and thought that. I literally didn't accept anything else and completely disregarded what he said to me. 2 days later, I went to work. I was in VC with guy 1 and this dude, A. We just talked casually, and I said I'm bored at work. He says, "Want me to come over to your work?" And I was like, inside, but said why? And he replied that he has nothing better to do and he is bored. I just said, "Aight, bring me an energy drink please, thanks." He came to my work, he brought me the energy drink, and spent hours with me just chatting at the store. The next day I was working and he stopped by my work again, this time on his own accord and without saying anything. I was a bit surprised and at the same time I kinda knew it was gonna happen. At the end of that day, day 3, we walked to his bus station, and he said this. "Okay, so I actually really like you. But I will never go out with you because bro code and you rejected both my best friends." This whole saga is long enough to be a post on its own, but again, I didn't accept what he said and we ended up going out anyway. We had shit go down, and he again said he will never talk to me or like me again, make sure that I wasn't invited when their gang was going out, but I ended up just deciding that I don't give a shit and he will chase me again. He was literally mean to me, saying he didn't care and didn't want anything to do with me. I felt like ass, and at the same time decided I don't care and I'm too fucking fired to be treated like that and that he will chase me, so I started acting like I don't care. Even when we did go out as a group I just ignored him unless he approached me, and slowly he started acting up again, coming to my work, whatnot, and eventually asked me out, again. Because my self-concept and ego refused to accept whatever BS he was saying about not wanting me. I just kept telling myself he will want me because everyone loves me, he doesn't have a choice. University. I got into the most known and prestigious design university in my country by literally doing less than the bare minimum. From the moment I signed up for the exams, it was 2 stages, first a physical exam, and those who passed the physical exam. Stage 2, a personal interview, plus home assignment, plus portfolio. Everyone said how it's hard, how the odds are like 1 in 7 to get in, and whatnot. At the entry exam, I met old classmates that said they were trying to get in for the second time after doing a special program to help their chances, all prepared, while I didn't even know what the hell I'm getting into. Just rolling with it. Throughout the whole time, I didn't even think anything other than it's settled that I'm going to this university. Even before, I used to tell people when I was saving up money for studies that I'm either going to study abroad or I'm going to this university. Not will try, not maybe. It was a decision I stuck to and didn't even accept anything else. Again, high self-concept regarding things always working out for me, I'm always lucky, and confidence in my skill. Despite all the odds, the names, the whatever, and me literally just kinda winging my way in, I ended up getting accepted, and am also one of the top students. I just acted, mentally, as if my spot there was guaranteed and already accepted before I even signed up, and well, here we are. Weight loss. I decided to do this as an experiment more than anything. Not too long ago, I decided to just affirm I'm losing 5 kilograms every week. I have my perfect body. I purposefully didn't change anything in my routine, diet, habits. 2 weeks later, I went to work and even wondered on the way if my CTO will say anything. When I came into work, my CTO indeed said, "Damn, you lost quite a bit of weight. Good job. Plus pants fit better. 10K bonus in under 4 hours. No, it wasn't a clickbait. I am a university student and a very busy one, so I work 1 day a week. But during semester break, I had time to work more full-time, which was great since I could take an extra project at my work. When I was done with it, I felt super proud of myself, and so were my CEO and co-workers. I had the 10K number in my head because I kept talking about it with my mom, and that was the amount I had to pay for my studies. I went out of a meeting with my CEO after showing him the end product, and he loved my work. As I walked to my office, I zoned out for about 2 minutes and thought to myself, haha, imagine if they liked my work so much they'd give a 10K bonus. I didn't feel it real, I didn't repeat it, I just zoned out, imagined, got distracted and forgot. 2 hours later we went to lunch, and my CTO told me to go to his office after. NGL, I actually thought for a sec I fucked up somewhere and didn't know what to expect. An hour and a bit later I went into his office not knowing what to expect. He sat down and started. First he said that because I've been working full-time, to write another check, because I'm on freelancing contract, but to calculate all the extra hours by counting 60 of my currency per hour instead of 40, which is my usual rate. I already was happy. And then he said, that's not all though, I also want to give you a bonus. How does 10,000 sound? My jaw hit the floor so hard, and yet I wasn't surprised when I thought about my quick imaginational scene, but still was impressed with myself how fast it was. 3 days. My biggest manifestation is manifesting and recreating my SP. I don't want to get into detail due to private reasons that I'm not comfortable sharing, although I told the full story on my Discord. It started out super good. He was cute, sweet, and caring. But I did some shit and it went bad. We were still in contact, but he turned cold, cared less, and whatnot. So I decided to manifest him and make him go back to the way he was before things went south. I had a lot of emotions involved, a lot more than any other manifestation before, and I decided that this will be my end-all, be all of the law, the final test to prove it's all real, 100%, and that anything truly is possible. It didn't create much resistance, most of the time, but kept me motivated to keep going. Let me tell you. For around 4 months I went by day, having to ignore things he said that were the opposite of what I wanted to hear or experience, or ignore lack of texts. I had times when I cried, wanted to complain, and whatnot. But still I persisted every day. Man, I was obsessed. I was desperate to make it happen, but despite what I felt, I kept my mental on my objectives. He's exactly how I want him to be. I wrote that affirmation on a paper and made a list of affirmation under it with all the qualities and things I wanted. After 4 months I started noticing he started being a bit more empathic, a little more affectionate, a little nicer. He started saying things that were nicer, but still not exactly what I wanted. So I kept going. The wildest thing was when the manifestation came true fully. Because that day we had one of the worst arguments. I'm talking okay, have a good life type of message. I was bawling, panic attack, crying, shitting myself. I wanted to scream, I felt terrible, I felt like shit was going wrong and bad and what the fuck, why is this happening? And still in my head I kept repeating everything is fine, he's exactly what I want, he treats me so well, everything is fine, everything is okay, he treats me well, I got what I want, everything is fine. I didn't believe it. I had to read his messages that hurt and scared me. I had to type and reply. I had to be aware of things going to shit in the 3D and die inside, and yet I still kept affirming robotically, changing my thoughts over and over the entire time. And this is the part where I stress why 3D and circumstances never matter, and that what SP says never fucking matters. Because 2 hours of this shit he called me, and said don't worry, I'm not going to leave. And then boom. He completely switched. 180 out of nowhere. We went back to hang out and he suddenly was a different person. He became super sweet, caring, nice. I was dumbfounded and even caught myself being like, what the fuck just happened? Moreover, he used to always say he never goes back on his words and decisions, and yet he changed his mind completely. He started saying and doing things he didn't before, that I was affirming for, that were the complete opposite of what he used to say. He even said things I was affirming for. Doing, and not doing, things I was affirming. I manifested small things in between, but nothing was strong enough or close to my end goal. It took 4 months to see a bit of movement, slight changes in his behavior, and around 6 months for the full manifestation to come through and have him do a whole personality change, but let me tell you, it was fucking worth it. Not to mention I got my proof. I did what I set to do and know I have the complete 100% undying belief in the law forever. Plus I got my SP, and he is better than ever.